Everyone, it is E-Money, your best financial friend forever. So retirement, it's something that a lot of people are striving for. We hear a lot about it in the financial planning industry. Like that's a goal most people have. But there are some things that you do not expect to occur that actually does occur when you retire. So myself, Eric Gersch, really went deep into this, and we really came up with the 5 things that most people do not expect that occurs in retirement. This comes from years of experience of having clients that have retired. So I think you're really going to find it interesting. I think it's going to motivate you to do different things than maybe what you're doing right now to prepare for the unexpected that may occur in retirement. So definitely enjoy the episode. And as always, please give us as much support as you possibly can on the channel. So subscribe, share it with other practice owners, maybe a group that you're involved in. And if you're having any inkling that you need some financial help, please do not hesitate to go to our website, Econologics Financial Advisors, schedule a intro call, and we can certainly guide you and ask you questions that maybe you didn't even think of. So enjoy the episode. I'll see you guys on the next podcast. All right, here we go. We're back.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yep, there you go. Happy Thanksgiving. You're heading off to Michigan?
I am. What are you doing?
We're gonna stay here. We're gonna
here.
We're gonna watch, football and eat turkey and do what people do on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So
same.
Retirement seems to be a big buzzword right now.
Yes.
A lot of people always still want to retire at some point in time. And while I think we understand the concepts and we certainly want to get people prepared for it, there are some funny things that happen to people after they retire.
There certainly are.
And there's some funny things that occur when people retire.
Yep.
And I don't know that it matters what age you are. Maybe it does.
To some degree, but I think, whether you retire at 55 or 75, you're still going to face a lot of the same things, maybe just to varying intensities.
True. So we've had the luxury of having a lot of our clients over the last, 7 years sell their business and be able to quote unquote retire.
Yep.
And we thought we'd put a list of some things that we have seen that weren't expected.
Yep.
So to speak. And these are only things that you're going to learn when you actually get into the nitty gritty and see how people, react to life. So we have a list. Are you ready?
I am.
All right. What's number 1 on the list of top things that are unexpected in retirement?
Boredom.
Oh.
Yep.
So give me an example.
Well, I think, I don't think, I know from client interactions that, initially when you retire, you've got a lot of things you want to do, you want to catch up on, people you want to see, grandkids you want to spend time with,
Yep.
But once you get past that, initial excitement phase, I guess, where it just things just become day-to-day life again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when that occurs, I think at least for our clients who are largely business owners, they're so used to being so busy and always having this business on their mind and, a million things to do constantly. And then all of a sudden there's none of that. It's just grandkids mowing the lawn, fixing the kitchen.
Yeah.
And they get bored.
So think about it. Like, you ever been in a car or you ever ride a motorcycle before?
I have.
You have? Okay. Imagine going 100 mile an hour down a road on a motorcycle. It's exhilarating.
Yes, it is.
It's scary.
Yes, it is.
It is. Your attention is on what you're doing. It has to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you're dead.
or you're dead.
Yeah.
All right. I think running a practice or a business is very much like that. Because when you think about it, like you're, as a doctor, as a business owner, you're kind of going 100 mile an hour because, things are always coming up. You have this, you have that. There's always a schedule. There's always meetings. There's always problems. There's always, someone coming to me and then they're upset. We have, hey, we got a lot of client wins, but, we had some people that, dropped off, and it's just like, it's constant.
Yeah.
Okay. It's constant. So imagine that you're riding a motorcycle going 100 mile an hour. Then all of a sudden you slow down and you stop.
Yep.
Okay. And now what? I can look around. I can, do whatever. I'm not on the task that I was doing anymore.
Yeah.
So, but at some point in time, you're going to want to get back on the motorcycle because it was exhilarating.
Yep.
Doing that. And now you're telling me that I'm never going to do that anymore. And I'm just going to sit and lounge around and, not really be as active. Yeah. And that is a shortcut towards dying at that point. Because when you don't, what is dying? No motion.
Yeah.
Right. So when you are, when you look at retirement, I mean, that really is the underlying, I guess, concept is that it's relegated to no motion. And that's the thing that you have to really guard against.
Yeah, you have to stay in motion.
Yeah. You have to stay in motion.
Whatever that means. I mean, you got to take care of yourself. You got to get out. You got to exercise. You got to, you can't just sit around and.
No, and the game can't be just because, your time is going to get sucked into doing something. Like life abhors a vacuum. Yep. And when there's a vacuum of something, it's going to get filled with something at some point in time. And so you really have to make sure like you are like, I'm going to fill this time up with something that I consider purposeful and productive. I mean, we try to tell our clients that, like, look, I know you're going to sell because you can't stand all these blank, blank, and blank. But man, I'm going to tell you, you're going to miss it a little bit. And I've had mixed reviews on that. Some people miss it, some people don't.
But I think, I would say that out of all my clients who have sold, I can't remember a single person who sold and retired or quasi-retired, whatever. But I can't think of a single person who did that because they were sick of seeing patients.
Yeah.
Never heard that. It's mostly I'm sick of the hiring, the training.
Yeah.
The HR side of things.
The business side of it. Yeah. I get that. Yeah.
The owner side, not the practitioner.
Yeah. So I think, look, what you want to do is just make sure that I would still practice a little bit, even if it's just 1 day a week or 2 days a week or a couple days a month, just to make sure. I mean, you learn all these skills for a reason. You don't want to lose them. And, and there's going to be a point in time, obviously, when you're freaking 85, 90 years old that you're not doing it. But man, if you're 60, 65, 55, even 70,
it keeps your skills sharp, keeps your brain sharp, keeps you moving, keeps you having a purpose, just keeps you making a little bit of money too.
Yeah, for sure. So I just would, obviously the boredom thing is going to happen. You really got to make sure that you fill up the time with something purposeful.
Yeah.
That's going to, excite you and where you can demonstrate some level of competency. Like there's a challenge to it. It's not just, I'm just going to go surf every single day or I'm going to go to the lake house, and, drink wine, 7 times a week. So, cause that's just going to degrade your body down.
And it's going to get old fast.
Yeah. It will. I mean, it's like when you were 21 through 30, you could power drink and, never have like a negative thing happen to you. And then, once you hit that one point in time, you're like, well, this kind of sucks.
You're like, how did I end up hungover for 2 days?
Can't do this anymore. Yep. So boredom is one of the, I don't know if people expected it, but like the level of boredom is pretty quick.
Yeah.
So what was the second one?
Unexpected expenses.
Yeah. So look, I mean, everyone thinks that, okay, well, the kids aren't really there anymore. I don't have, even if they're out of school or if they're on their own, I don't have any big expenses that come up, man, but I still get phone calls from people. Oh, we need a new roof on our house or our second home.
Yep.
Or
new roof. Kids have an emergency that they can't afford.
Yeah.
New cars. Not that that's a surprise, but I think it just slips people's minds that you still got to replace your cars every 10 years or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So there's always a big expense somewhere. Always. Yeah. And I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. We really don't know, but there just seems to be one. And they're not small. They're like $20,000-$30,000 or something like that.
Yeah, life still goes on.
Yeah. So if you think you're not going to have any big expenses as you get, plus you may move, you may want to move, you may want to buy something that you've always wanted. Who knows? Yep. So I think this goes back to you're going to have more than what you think.
Yes.
You're going to have more than what you think.
Yeah. So
when we talk about your wealth gap, when we talk about, your desired monthly income number, we come up with those calculations so that you have the right estimation of how much in assets you actually need. Okay. Now you ain't going to be able to live, on a $1 million portfolio.
No,
it ain't going to happen. Okay. And I would even question $2 million in assets. Okay, is not going to get you where you want to go. You can even throw Social Security in there with that. I mean, that's barely going to get you where you want to go. Okay, I think you really have to start eyeballing that. I have close to 4 or 5 million in total assets, not just money in portfolios. Right.
Yep.
4 to 5 million in total assets, where I'm getting right around a 5% return. That's giving me that 50,000 or 250 a year, mark. I think that is the number that most people really need if you want to be able to do all the things you want to do and not have any stress about money.
No, I mean, pretty much all my retired clients are wanting 15 to 20,000 a month.
Yeah, it's just like every plan I'm doing right now. Every exit plan, is like, I need 25,000 a month. Okay. Like, yeah, you probably do, because you're still have expenses things that you want to do.
Yeah.
And, the good thing about it is that, your tax liability should be a little bit less because of that, but you're still going to have expenses that you're going to have to pay.
Of course.
So the unexpected expenses are definitely a big thing. So we got to make sure that we're mindful of that. And that's always planning on having more than what you think that you need. And if you guys don't know how much you need, my God, please make sure you connect with us. We'll do a wealth building analysis for you where we can actually show you what your current asset level is, what your current income streams are, what your wealth gap is. And that way you can calculate it and figure out exactly what you're going to need post business ownership to be able to,
live how you want.
And
afford unexpected expenses.
Hell yeah. And afford the unexpected expenses. Okay. What's number 3 on the list?
Number 3, and this is my favorite one because I've seen it time and time again. Those first year or two that you're retired, you are going to spend way more than what you think.
Wow. Yeah, I kind of see that too, even with some people that didn't quote unquote retire but just sold their business. Like it was just like, I need another 100,000. I needed 200,000. I'm like, Jesus, what are you spending all this money on?
Yeah.
Well, we got this and we got that and blah, blah, blah.
It's all those, I think it's all those catch up activities, right? Whether it's travel or, the new kitchen or just doing all the stuff that you put off because you were so busy with work.
Yeah.
And now you have the time to do it. You have a bunch of money from the business sale. So, yeah, you end up spending a lot those first couple years. And then, spending does go down once you've done all of those exciting catch-up items. But I was
surprised.
I don't know if I want to say shocked, but I was surprised at how much recently retired clients were spending.
Yeah. I had a couple of people that retired or stopped working or sold their business and had a pretty big lump sum of money and are really like, what we thought, hey, can you live on $300,000 a year? Oh, that's no problem. And then it turns out like that's a problem. Like it's not enough. Like I need, we're taking pretty massive vacations right now. And I've had some people lend money to some other people, doing kind of crazy things with the money. And it just seems like, when you have a lot of money, I can just tell you right now, there are some people that can just smell that like a shark,
A shark in the water.
So you do have to be, maybe that's another unexpected thing is like some people will know that you are no longer working. And, there's always going to be, but look, the rules of money don't change just because you're in retirement.
No.
You're going to try to spend everything that you make and then some. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's really no savings component when it comes to that, which kind of leads to another question that I'll have before we get to the last one. Do you think people should keep the activity of saving money when they're in retirement?
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like I'm getting income from different sources. Should I still carve out, a percentage? It's a pretty successful habit.
Yeah, but I guess at that point, like you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. You'd be better off just, okay, like let me give you an example. Let's say you need $20,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or you're getting $20,000 a month. And then you take 4,000 of that and you put it back into your investments.
Yeah.
Just take out 16,000 a month. Because the $4,000 you're pulling out is now ending up getting taxed, and then you're putting it back in. You'd be better off just never having it taxed in the first place and letting it continue to grow.
I get it.
But I will, I'll say this. I have some people who work like a day a week or do like a little side job.
Mm-hmm.
Them, I do have like, oh yeah, go ahead, participate in the 401k there. I mean, it's not going to end up being a ton of money, but it just, I don't know, it keeps them.
Well, I mean, it just came up in a plan that we're doing right now. Someone's going to sell. They're going to, still obviously be partaking in the business. And they're like, should I still save for my 401k? And I'm like,
yeah.
And I thought about it. And I was like, are they going to match you? They're like, yeah, they're going to match up to 4%. I was like, well, why don't we just do the match up to the 4%?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, otherwise you're just leaving free money on the table.
Yeah. And, that I was like, okay, yeah. But the part of me is like, all right, is it just a constructive activity to always do, to be in the habit of doing that? And, to continue that, and then there's part of me is like, look, you're going to get like $9 million. Like you don't need to worry about retirement anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't need you to worry about saving money anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I would say you don't have to, but it's never going to hurt you.
Yeah, it's a constructive habit that people should probably continue doing in some form or fashion, you know?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's the last thing that was unexpected in retirement that we've seen?
Well, the last thing would be how,
I remember
how stress reducing it is to have guaranteed income.
Hell yes.
I was trying to think of how to word it.
No, hell yes.
Yeah.
So,
guarantees.
Yes, I'm telling you right now, when we have had clients that have started to turn on their annuities and other guaranteed income products, they love it.
They love it.
Love it.
Yep.
Absolutely love it. They're like, this is awesome. I'm like, yeah, it is pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's no thought. There's no worry. You don't have to worry about the market going down or real estate prices going down or losing a tenant or, whatever's generating the income from whatever other asset. It's just guaranteed. It shows up each month. It's the same amount on the same day. That simple.
I'm telling you, it has been one of the most wonderful things that we've seen and we've done is to position lump sums of money or, put money into, some kind of a contract over a period of time where even if it's like, I don't know, 30,000 a year, 40,000 a year, 50,000 a year. I mean, we turned some on for a client like last year and I did it again and I freaking love it, man. I'm like, yeah, here's 3,000 a month. Okay.
Yeah, no, there's no better feeling than telling the client, all right, we're going to start your income. You're going to get $4,000 or $3,000 or whatever on the first of each month for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And it's coming and it's going to last you for the rest of your life.
Yep.
And you never have to worry about this money again. Like,
yeah, it's a great freeing.
You are now insured when it comes to that. They're like, oh, that really feels good. That really feels good. So it's, all I can tell you guys is that when you're looking at your overall household portfolio, you have to carve out some portion of that to put it into some kind of guaranteed product or investment. And really, annuities, life insurance, you combine that with Social Security. I mean, I got a lot of people that are running like 100,000 a year, just combining those three right there. Social Security,
at least 100, yeah.
Yeah, insurance contracts. And now we're talking like $8,000 to $10,000 a month. And that just covers basically your household expenses right there.
Yeah.
Now everything else that you want to draw out, fine, draw it out. No problem. But that's been a winner chicken dinner, 100% on that. I was unexpected on how cool that was going to be received when people started turning that on.
Yeah, well, I think, when you retire, your mindset changes, right? Your whole career, you're focused on returns.
Mm-hmm.
And once you retire, returns matter, but what matters more is the stability of my income.
Yeah.
And the ability or I shouldn't say the ability, knowing that I'll have enough even if I live longer than I expect.
Yeah. It's the return of the money.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. And it's going to come and it's going to be there forever. That's what I love most about it.
Yeah.
So it's that's pretty cool.
I have one more, actually.
All right. Lay it on.
You don't have to die with every single dollar you retire with.
You don't have to die with every single dollar that you retire with. All right. Explain.
And I say that because I have a lot. Now, this is a very fine line, right? Because you don't want to run out of assets when you're 85. But I've seen some people who get obsessed with the whole, okay, I have $3 million and I can pull out 5% a year. So that's $150,000. And my assets are going to keep earning at least 5%. And then that way I'll never touch my principal.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
To touch a little bit of your principal here and there. If you retire with $3 million and you die with 2.5.
Yeah.
oh, well.
Yeah.
But that's why I said it's a very fine line, because you also don't want clients to interpret that as, oh, I can just start spending through my principal too.
Yeah. So I think the goal that we have is that we want you to have enough in assets so that theoretically your net worth never goes down. You draw on enough on everything where your net worth continues to at least go sideways or go up. Okay.
Yes.
But here's what I don't want you guys to do. I don't want you to hoard money and not experience life just because you're afraid of that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's another problem, is that people get so obsessively focused on their money continuing to grow. Whereas you should just be like, I just need it to maintain itself so it can still provide me what I want to provide. And I don't have any concerns I'm going to run out.
Yeah.
By that time. But to your point, it's like, what's that person going to give up by not spending that money? What kind of experiences are you gonna give up?
Happiness,
by not spending that money just because you're like, oh, I'm so afraid. It's like, no, like, this is why you need more than what you think you need. Okay. And at the same time, though, let's not sacrifice all life experiences just so that you can keep some, target of like, I need to keep this portfolio level at this point right here.
Yeah.
That's what your professionals are there to show you how to do and make sure that, you're not going to run out of money.
Exactly.
Which is why I'll go back to making sure you have some freaking guaranteed income coming in so you don't have to worry about that.
Exactly.
So you can freely take money out and be like, yeah, I'm probably taking a little bit more out. That's going to, hit the principal, but I don't care. I got plenty of guaranteed income here. I got my real estate over here. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
So you can't just focus. Yeah. Don't sit there and just like focus on your investment performance every single freaking minute of the day. That's just gonna drive you crazy. And it's gonna drive us crazy too, because we have to hear it. All right. And I'd rather you be out there like enjoying yourself. And if you end up spending a little bit more money in 1 year, oh well. Okay.
You'll be all right.
You'll be all right. Okay. You ain't gonna, it's not gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Okay, man. I think we nailed it.
All right.
So we will see you guys on the next podcast. Be well.